When I entered Emory, I was not aware at the time that I would be the only female in my class.
I think the male students sometimes did not know quite what to think of us.
When I think of the generation that I represent at Emory, I'm hyper aware that I stand on the shoulders of giants.
Women have always played an incredible role as informal leaders on this campus.
Eleanor Raoul was the first woman to enroll officially and earn a degree from the university. There's a legend that the chancellor of the university at the time, Bishop Warren Aiken Candler, who opposed coeducation at every level, was out of town on the day that Eleanor talked to the dean of the school. And the dean didn't see any reason why a woman should not enroll. And so by the time the chancellor returned to Atlanta, the deed was done, the ink was dry on the enrollment form. It was in 1953 that the Board of Trustees voted to admit women to Emory College as residential students. Women began enrolling in larger numbers.
I majored in chemistry, and that was unusual. Most of the women were going to Emory to equip themselves to be teachers, and I was not interested in teaching, and so chemistry suited me. In a big class, I would be the only girl, but that didn't bother me. There were just a handful of women. We just didn't have anything to do with the guys, and they didn't have anything to do with us. Whatever building you were at, if you wanted to go to the restroom, you had to get out of that building and walk over to the main building and go in the one restroom that was for women. It worked all right. I didn't have any problem.
There's no doubt that there was prejudice. In fact, there was one person who I can remember absolutely saying outside one of the buildings, "Why are we wasting our money on a woman?" And you know, my answer to that was, because I'm here and I want to come and I've been admitted. So it was time to change. There's no reason in the world to separate the sexes. It should have been done longer in advance, but you know, old ways are hard to break.
I don't remember thinking I was less than or anything like that. But that may be part of the way I was raised too, because my dad told me I could be anything I wanted to be. When I came, my idea was when I was growing up, I was either going to be a teacher, a secretary, or a nurse. But it didn't feel oppressive because that was all I knew. But there are a lot of amazing women now doing many, many different things.
I came to Emory from having taught high school chorus in DeKalb County for 2 years. So I had a music education, and so it would be a natural thing for me to do to try out for the Candler Choraleers. So I went to the professor and sat down and talked with him and told him I wanted to set up an audition for the Candler Choraleers. And he said, no. He said, the Candler Choraleers has been and always will be men.
As a female student in the 80s, I think the biggest obstacle I saw was looking for women mentors that can help me navigate. I actually don't remember taking a class in the business school with any faculty member that was a woman.
For me, coming from a small town in Alabama, it was great to come here and really see the world. I mean, the makeup of the classes were diverse. You know, as a female on campus, I didn't feel like I had any obstacles. The faculty, the staff here, the administration was very supportive. We had a voice here at Emory.
I felt like I had the exact same opportunities as the male students on campus.
There were no sort of obstacles in the sense of I wanted to do something physically and I was stopped because of my gender. But I think, especially being involved in the Respect program, it really helped me understand how gender still affects so many students on campus.
Emory has changed though. The diversity is well beyond what I ever imagined. Of course, there's a lot more women. We're taking over the world, as you know.
To see that evolution and see Emory be at the forefront of being progressive and having a wonderful female president now is a great thing to see. It's very inspiring.
I am so excited about President Stark. She is fantastic. I can remember when I got the news that she had been selected, and I thought to myself, wow, Emory's really going to go to the next level under her leadership.
There's a lot said and spoken just by her presence about the role of women in higher education and in academia.
I see the opportunity with President Stark to continue to forge paths of opportunity and possibility, regardless of who you are.
First of all, being the president is quite amazing, but being the first woman, I think, symbolizes that society is changing. I'm born in the Netherlands, and in high school I wanted to go the math and science track, which my teachers discouraged me from doing. I was stubborn enough to still go ahead, and I remember just feeling miserable because I always was the only woman in the class. That's something that really shaped the way in which I look at equality on campus, and ask myself quite regularly, what can we do to get this to be to a more equal place? Because if we're not proactive, then we may never get where we want to be.
Women have certainly come a long way.
Women actually over the years have become undergraduate students, the majority. So we have gone from no women to close to 58% of the undergraduate student population being female.
And look, we have 4 out of 9 deans are women.
There's a lot more work to do. We're not done yet, but we have leadership here who's open-minded about the change and recognizes the need for more women interaction with the university.
I think Emory is a dynamite place. We are positioned to really achieve the ambition that we have. Lots of people have said it's time for us to move from aspiration to ambition. I'm very excited about the enthusiasm there is, and I believe we will continue to build on the incredible strength that Emory already has and do some things that we cannot even imagine today.